If you would have asked me last year, how strong is your faith? I would have asked why, because a mustard seed is all you need. But now I can say confidently my faith is unshakable. If you would have asked me a year ago to pray, I would have told you I prefer praying in my head. But now I know the importance of opening your mouth and praying with authority. If you would have asked me a year ago what we wrestle not with flesh and blood meant, I wouldn't have been able to tell you or fully grasp the concept. But now I know the devil and his agenda could never stop me, and the demon better flee when it sees me coming. You might be thinking or want to ask what changed. Well, I was in a car accident, and that might be all you can see, but really I was reborn by fire. You know, God is very intentional and a little ironic. During the night of my accident, I had just left church, took my friend home, and was listening to Dietrich Haddon, his song A Billion. And if you don't know it, the lyrics go, I won't stop until I have 1 billion people saying Jesus. Little did I know, over the course of the next few months, well, not even months, but minutes, that would come to life. I didn't even know that I was about to become a walking miracle to the people of the kingdom. And not even just to the people of the kingdom, but the people of the world also. I saw the car coming, and all I could do was brace myself. The only words leaving my mouth were Jesus. I woke up again. My gospel was still playing. All I seen was flames, but I still heard the Lord. My door opened with no struggle. Seatbelt came off with no struggle, and I got out. When I got out, I hit the ground. I didn't know that anything was wrong with my leg, but I knew I had to get away from the car. I began crawling. At first, there was no worry, just the thought of getting closer to the road so someone could see me. During all of this, I still felt peace in his spirit, but the enemy fights dirty and will attack your mind in a second. As the officers came, there was so much going on, so much chaos. A man screaming, a girl pronounced DOA. The sounds of my car and the worry from the officers that it would explode. I started to ask, was I going to die? Crying out saying I didn't want to die. The officers moved me farther away and stood around me and began to pray. I didn't know it then, but they were forming a hedge of protection and shielded me from the chaos that was going on around me. I don't really remember much of my time in the hospital. I believe God put me dormant as rest was the main focus then. But once I got home, it was another battle. The pain, the uncomfortability, the feeling like my life was over even though God already showed me his plans. What he had planned wasn't the way of the world. They told me I wouldn't walk for a year and suggested nursing homes and care facilities. What they deemed impossible, God was already working on and moving. The tactic of the enemy is to get your mind. There were so many times the devil tried to creep in, anger or doubt, or tried to get me to turn on God. But I had a praying village behind me. So many times he tried to throw stuff in the way to stop my healing and sow discourse. But he has no say, and I will continue to deny the enemy authority. God has his arms around me, and I'm not stepping out of his embrace for anything. For I lean on his plan and his knowledge, not mine. Now remember they said it would be a year before I did anything or walked? Well, God had a different plan. For the first month, I was in a wheelchair. Month 2 and 3, I moved on to a walker. Month 4, I was on a cane. And now month 5, I'm walking on my own. Nothing is impossible or too much for God. I'm your reminder that he hears every prayer, sees and wipes every tear, and that he is always moving on your behalf, whether you can see it or not. My name is Alana, and I'm a walking miracle, quite literally. What the enemy thought would take me out has pulled me deeper into my calling. I will continue to share what God has done for me. I will continue to share what he has taught me, and I will continue to be a light in this world. Even when days are tough, I know bigger is coming, and I will trust the process, and I will trust in the Lord. What they said that would take a year has been cut more than in half. This is your sign to have faith and trust in the Lord like you never have before. What is holding you back from giving him your all and completely trusting him? My scar is a reminder that the impossible is possible, and that nothing is too much for Jesus, and that through him, he will give you the strength to do the impossible. because greater is he that is in me than that is in the world. You serve the greater, which makes you greater, and no weapon formed against any of us shall prosper. I went from not being able to move in a hospital bed to up and walking and being able to go where I need to go in less than 5 months. Now look at me now. So remember, the impossible is possible.